Price hikes continue across the economy. We were promised lower prices. That requires deflation. We haven't gotten that. And now the Trump administration is panicking about the likely political fallout as we are just 8.5 months from the midterm elections. Now, before we even get into the story, I apparently still have to explain very basic things. Unless inflation is negative, prices are going up. That's how inflation works. Lower inflation doesn't mean prices go down. It means prices go up more slowly. Prices only fall when inflation is below zero, a negative number. I can't believe I still have to explain this, but that's where we are. Now let's look at what's happening. We have a report that several major companies are raising prices in 2026 because of Donald Trump's trade war. This includes Levi's Jeans, McCormick Spices, and 54% of small businesses say they plan to raise prices in the forthcoming months. Let's take a look at this report.
This morning, new word that several major companies say they will be raising prices this year, largely thanks to President Trump's trade war. Price hikes reaching from your closet to the kitchen. CNN's Matt Egan joining us now with more reporting on this. And what are you hearing, Matt?
Well, Kate, yeah, some companies are jacking up their prices for a variety of reasons. Some of them are citing higher wages for their workers, higher healthcare costs, and of course, the president's historically high tariffs. And yeah, this is affecting everything from jeans made by Levi to spices from McCormick. Also outerwear, jackets, and other clothing from Columbia Sportswear. One example, so McCormick said that they're facing about a $50 million hit from higher U.S. tariffs, and they're taking what they're describing as, quote, surgical price hikes. Levi says that some of their men's jeans are going to go up by $5 per pair, women's jeans up by $10. Not just major corporations. Look at this. This is small businesses. More than half of small business owners in a recent survey, 54%, that's the blue chunk here, say they plan to raise prices over the next few months. 42% say they're going to keep them the same, and just 3%, that little green slice, say they plan to cut prices. Now, some of this is kind of normal start of the year type moves that you see from companies as they look at their prices. Some of it seems a bit more aggressive. The Wall Street Journal talked to a construction company in Cincinnati that said because of healthcare costs and steel tariffs, they plan to raise their prices by 10 to 15%. Online prices are also going up rapidly.
I think you get it. Prices are going up, up, up. Now, I do want to announce the David Pakman Show we will not be raising membership prices or Substack premium prices in 2026. Mark my words. They will have to take my mouse from me over, what's the cold dead hands thing? They can rip my mouse and keyboard from my cold dead hands before I will raise prices. That's my commitment. But listen, this is predictable. When Trump first suggested blanket tariffs years ago, economists and anyone with common sense said that's going to raise prices. It's not going to lower them, which is Trump's promise. And it is very simple economics. A tariff is a tax on an import. When the government raises the cost of bringing stuff into the country, the costs are passed along to consumers. Now, later today, or maybe we won't get to it until tomorrow, I'm going to have a report about what percentage of the tariffs are being passed on to the consumer. I'll give you a hint. It's a double-digit number that starts with a 9. But we'll get back to that. But the point is, businesses aren't just going to absorb higher costs out of generosity. They're going to raise prices. That means consumers pay. This is why economists, left, right, and center, warned for decades about this sort of use of tariffs. Trade barriers almost always mean higher prices at home. Now, you might do it in a way where you believe that the higher prices are justified or that they are working towards some bigger good. You might tariff Taiwanese semiconductors, which will raise the prices domestically in order to encourage that supply chain to move domestically. It takes 6 to 8 years. There is intermediate pain, but you might say there's a national security reason. The blanket tariffs that we're seeing don't really make any sense. It's just causing inflationary pressure throughout the economy. And then enters politics. The politics of it is that Trump built a large part of his political brand on, I will lower costs for you. I will lower prices. groceries, energy, everyday expenses. Prices are high because of Biden. I will lower them. Tariffs do the opposite, and inflation is greater than zero, meaning prices are continuing to go up. Now, just 8.5 months from the midterms, the administration has a reality problem. You can't promise cheaper goods while making goods more expensive and then saying, vote for us so that we can do more. It's not going to work. The global supply chain is very much interconnected. American companies rely on foreign stuff, foreign manufacturing, foreign markets. If you disrupt the system, those problems, those disruptions are going to come home. Now, the Smoot-Hawley tariffs in the 1930s triggered retaliation. They reduced trade. They worsened economic conditions during the Great Depression. And the more recent implementations of tariffs have basically produced the same dynamic. Prices go up, markets get unstable, retaliation can happen from trading partners. The basic lesson here hasn't changed. Trade wars are easy to start, difficult to control, and very tough to win unless the tariffs are used in an extremely surgical, calculated, proactive manner. Now, as far as the politics of it, you can yell that the economy is great until you're blue in the face. You can say that prices are going down. But if people go and see that stuff costs more, when I go in to get my beautiful smoked paprika, maybe from McCormick Spices, I don't know. But by the way, McCormick is not a sponsor of the show. I am not going to, what am I going to believe? Trump or the fact that my beautiful Spanish paprika? And what about cardamom, both of them really. They get more expensive. I'm going to believe the price tags, not Donald Trump. So this is about more than the price hikes. It's about what happens when policy has consequences and it meets the real world and it affects people's lives. So we will continue following the price level, but in 2026, it is going up. Thanks for watching. Check out this other video. And if you like our content, make sure to subscribe so YouTube puts our videos in your feed, and subscribe to the podcast on Spotify and Apple.